here with my review of Jurassic World Dominion, the third movie in the Jurassic World trilogy, but the sixth movie in the Jurassic Park franchise. And they say it's the conclusion, but then they're kind of like, maybe it's not. Uh, so going into this, I want to say up front that I have enjoyed the other two Jurassic World movies. Take that for what you will, because I know they've been divisive. They are huge billion-dollar hits. That doesn't mean they're automatically good, or all the Transformers sequels would be good. But I've enjoyed them. I've enjoyed them for what they were. None of them can match up to the original Steven Spielberg Jurassic Park from '93, but I thought Jurassic World was really fun. I thought Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom was cool for being crazy with its gothic mansion horror movie in the second half, and I liked that it got weird like that. All of which is to say, let's talk about Jurassic World Dominion. Not going to go into full spoilers, just plot setup here. The basic plot setup is that it's been 4 years since dinosaurs were let free on planet Earth. It continues to be kind of real time, and we see how they're coexisting, some peacefully with humans, some not so peacefully. There's some humans hunting dinosaurs and vice versa. There's some crappy people that are using them to trade them or to have even like little pit fights with them. But two major things happen that set the story into motion simultaneously, which is some nefarious guys are after Maisie. That is the little girl, the clone little girl from the last movie. They want her, and they want Blue, our favorite raptor, Blue's baby. And when they are both in trouble, that sends Owen and Claire back out to try to help them. And simultaneously, we have Dr. Ellie Sattler, the returning Laura Dern, who is called in to investigate giant mutated locusts who were basically threatening the entire ecosystem and our food chain. And that will reunite her with Dr. Alan Grant, Sam Neill returning to the franchise, and all roads will lead to Biosyn, a company that has never really been that established in these movies, but was a big part of the books. There's stuff going on with Biosyn, and that's where Dr. Henry Wu and Dr. Ian Malcolm are hanging out. So, the big selling point here, obviously, is the return of the original cast, all in the same movie together for the first time since 1993. And the other selling point is dinosaurs out in the world, that there is no more park, there is no more islands, they're just out there. And I think the movie does okay on one side of that coin and doesn't do well at all on the other. Overall, I was definitely disappointed by this movie. It is, to me, the weakest of the Jurassic World trilogy. Again, there are people who go weaker than Fallen Kingdom, but I liked Fallen Kingdom. So that's where I'm coming from. Having the three of them back is great. You know, having Jeff Goldblum and Laura Dern and Sam Neill back is great. And they all have big parts. Jeff Goldblum's in a bit less of the movie, I will say, and he does kind of disappear in the middle for a stretch. But Sam Neill and Laura Dern, I would say, are pretty much part of the lead ensemble of this movie with Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. They are in a ton of the movie. They get to work together a ton. They still have really fun chemistry together. It is definitely very comforting and great to see these characters back together. And you can almost sense that they heard some of the criticism of the new Star Wars trilogy, that we didn't get those guys really bouncing off each other except for little scenes here and there. Here, they're back. They're back together. That's great. However, the story is pretty weak and convoluted. And the thing about Jurassic Park movies is they're not usually that detailed. I mean, the original Jurassic Park is a simple story. Go to a dinosaur theme park, things go wrong, dinosaurs start eating people, we got to get out of there. And that's okay. It's just the execution that makes it a great movie. This one, I realized, has too much lore. Like, the Jurassic Park series maybe doesn't need or can't support the weight of how much stuff the first third of this movie is giving you as far as catching up with a lot of characters. All the leads I just mentioned. There's also some returning characters from the earlier Jurassic World movies that come back into play in early scenes. And we're learning a lot about this other company. Campbell Scott has a huge role, has Dodgson, played by a different actor in the original movie, but now he's like the lead of Biosyn here, very established. So there's a lot at play. And I mentioned those dang locusts. It's too much. The movie doesn't need it. And the first third, it feels kind of slow and stretched out. You're like, I want the dinosaur action. I'm here for the dinosaur action. Why are we not getting that? Why are we getting a lot of scenes of people talking and plotting and whatnot? And then the movie kicks into gear. And I'll mention that there are sequences you've seen in a lot of the trailers. There's a sequence in Malta, and it involves Owen on a motorcycle and raptors running through the streets of a city. And it almost feels like Jurassic Park meets a Bourne movie or a Fast movie, because of what's happening and the action involved and people leaping from balcony to balcony, but raptors are after them. And this is the goofy delight that I wanted this whole movie to operate at. And because it's about almost halfway point where this happens, I go, yes, this is it. This is what the rest of the movie is. I'm so on board. And then the rest of the movie is not that. The rest of the movie, they kind of turn it into a rehash of the earlier Jurassic Park movies, because where they all gather might as well be Jurassic Park and still involves a bunch of dinosaurs collected into a sort of preserve area that, for all intents and purposes, functions like what we got in the other movies. And I don't know why they did that, especially since Fallen Kingdom, love or hate it, flip that by having the first half feel like a traditional Jurassic Park movie with an added volcano, and then the second half's like, well, now we're gonna get weird. Now we're gonna put dinosaurs in a mansion. You haven't seen that yet, right? And this one has so much promise. It's like, now dinosaurs can be anywhere. They're just out on, planet Earth, and we can take them into any environment. And, we have the money to do that because this is a giant budget movie. And then it instead ends up kind of just repeating what we've seen in the other movies. And that was really disappointing. And there's just too much focus. Like I mentioned, the locust thing, it could have been like a little subplot, because I understand that all these movies are about genetic engineering, and the last movie introduced a cloned human into the mix. So why not be like, and they're messing with locusts? But it seems like it's too much of a focus here, because what we want are the characters we love, and we want those dinosaurs. And I feel like there's too much stuff going on here that is distracting us from those core elements, There are cool sequences in this movie. Another one you've seen in the trailers involves characters flying in a plane when they are attacked by, a bunch of the flying dinosaurs. That's a really fun sequence. There are other ones that I really thought, oh, that's cool. That catches good moments. But it's not enough. Like, this one just feels like it is lacking, and it's lacking in an energy that's almost one of those things you can't quite explain. You just have to feel, where it's just like, this isn't meshing. This isn't coming together. Actors all bring it. It's great to have the original cast back. I think everyone's giving a good performance here. I want to mention Dionne Wise, who plays Kayla. I mentioned the plane sequence. She is the pilot they team up with. She's kind of the main new heroic character here. I liked her a lot. She definitely held her own, sort of being thrown into the mix here. But the energy it's just off. It just doesn't come together, and it just feels like they keep pulling back from going for what we want to see in this movie, especially the setup the last one gave us, and the fact that they're promoting this movie as the end of this story. Again, ... They're already saying, but there could be more, because there will be more. But it felt like something bigger needed to happen in this movie to justify the way it's being promoted with, an end of a story, an end of a trilogy, and also the fact that everyone's in it. That it's bringing back the old and new cast together, which is an exciting, fun element. But it doesn't feel like they live up to that promise. And I really wonder why they felt like they would back off of the, dinosaurs loose in cities, because that part is innately awesome, right? There's a reason Godzilla versus Kong was super fun, even if it had some story elements it could have delivered better on. And this movie, only in little parts, the very beginning, which shows what's going on across the world. And that Malta sequence, I think, are the movie that a lot of us would have really enjoyed to see. And instead, the one we get kind of is meandering with little blips, little moments that, oh, that's cool, that's fun. It's cool to see Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm back together, and these actors bouncing off each other. And Goldblum's being Goldblum. He's bringing full Goldblum. But I wanted more, and I was talking to a lot of other people who felt they wanted more. I think, again, I'm an apologist for this entire series, because at the end of the day, does each Jurassic Park and Jurassic World movie deliver dinosaurs eating people, really well made, like highest state-of-the-art digital and animatronic dinosaurs eating people? Yes, all 6 of them do. So I can't hate any of the 6 of these movies, even the weakest. But this one kind of now ranks amongst the weakest of all 6. Jurassic Park 3 to me would be in that category, and now this one, where it just felt like, guys, you had so many cool elements, but it didn't all come together. And, look, again, Colin Trevorrow returns as director here. He directed the first Jurassic World. I thought the first Jurassic World delivered on that sort of energy, even though it was rehashing the first one by design. I still felt like it moved. It was fun. It had, the set pieces all delivered. Here, it's way more spread out. It just doesn't come together, unfortunately. So out of 5 stars, I would give this 2.5. I do think it's, worth seeing if you enjoy this franchise and enjoy the sort of pure spectacle of it. I don't think it's like, oh, there's nothing to enjoy here. But yeah, wish it came together a little different. So that's my thoughts on Jurassic World. I'm sure we'll probably be checking in with some other thoughts in weeks to come. But hope people enjoy it for what it is. Wish it was a little different. Thanks, guys. We'll have plenty here at Fandom to come. Take care.